And good evening, everybody. Hopefully we're live. Good evening, Michael. Lovely to see you. Hope everybody's safe and well. So tonight we're just going to drive. How I've ended up on the 9900i, I don't know. We should have had the Shaneke. But anyway, we've got a job on from Elko to Rock Springs. I have completed my Halloween event on American Truck, and I've got a few crackers to share with you coming over the next few days and weeks. CachyOS continues to absolutely blow me away to the point where I literally do not need Windows, because I've got everything that I could ever want on CachyOS, and by everything I mean everything. This operating system is not only a Windows replacer, it's a Windows absolute killer, and I can 100% heartily recommend it to any and everybody. That said, let's get on our way to Rock Springs on our super budget hardware on CachyOS Linux, 100% Windows free. Now, I've got Pinger's Mac trailer on the back. I thought it was a really nice match for the 9900i. Very stylish and yet elegantly simple. We've picked a load of IBC containers up, only £80,000. We've got 8 hours and 35 minutes to destination. So let's hook up. We are suited and booted, we're fueled up. So let's take the parking brake off and let's drag this beautiful custom trailer the hell on out of here in our SCS 9900i. There's no sign of Shaneke anywhere. So the truck is SCS, the trailer is Pinger. Both are 100% free, and as I say, I've had an amazing time this week on CachyOS. I've had an amazing time on Guild Wars 2, been playing quite a bit of that with friends, which is really, really nice. So much nicer than playing alone. And I've also taken my trucking to a whole new level, thanks so much to CachyOS Linux, which really is a Windows, absolute Windows killer. And for those of you that are on Windows 10 and can't upgrade to Windows 11, maybe you're thinking about it. The question you need to ask yourself is why, when CachyOS, or any Linux for that matter, is this good. Linux just keeps getting better and better. And some of the rumours I've been hearing are quite worrying, coming out of Microsoft. Whether it's true or not, but apparently Microsoft are feverishly working on an iteration of Windows built purely on the Linux kernel, with the Windows interface, with the Windows compatibility layers, to make Windows software run on it beautifully, but 100% Linux based. Now that would be interesting, and just as interesting really is the fact that Linux is really now starting to be attacked by hackers and malware writers, and that doesn't surprise me in the least with the popularity of Linux as a home base operating system. Totally on the up. Of course I don't want to get over, do I? Chab. Right, just bear with me a second while I put my phone on and monitor the chat, because I don't want to go and miss anybody. Hopefully I won't. It'll also give me a chance to get a sound check as well. Yeah, I'm not missing anything at the minute. Just Michael in the chat. That's great. So let's get on our way to our destination and just enjoy the pants out of it. I'm guessing we're doing around 54, 55 mile an hour. So the journey should go relatively quickly. As you can see, we are on the Shaneke profile, fear not. We're starting off in Elko, Salt Lake City, Rock Springs, and then just outside of Rock Springs, between Rock Springs and Jackson, is our destination. This is just the USA with coast to coast and ATS expansion installed, as you can see here. And we've got all the Shaneke mods and all the trailers in. We've got No Mexico. I have discovered a new map which has blown me away. Providing the map works, I shall build a profile and I'll either do a video or a live stream on it. And I've heard of it before, but I've never actually used it, and it's blown me away the amount of content that it has on it. How good it is, well, we'll have to wait and see. I've still got my indicator on, and of course we're going to ignore the bloody way stations. As we've got fine switched off, it shouldn't matter. I hope I've got fine switched off, otherwise we're going to get a bill. There she is, beautiful, complete with her own custom trailer. Don't she look a little ducky? So how are you, Michael? How are things going for you on CachyOS? Are you still happy, or did you put your cinnamon back on, or are you tempted to go back to Windows or try something else? It's really interesting to get other people's takes and perspectives. For me personally, CachyOS has now exceeded my beloved Peppermint OS from back in the day. And to see how much Linux has moved on, even from when I loved the Peppermint, is just mind-blowing, really. I mean, Linux really is that good now as a home desktop operating system. And as I say, I mean, I've got literally everything I could ever want and then some. And I know I'm very fortunate in that I can run all the games that I would normally run on Windows. They run beautifully and flawlessly on CachyOS without too much tinkering and in a very Windows-esque fashion. So I would actually say the day-to-day operation of CachyOS is almost indistinguishable from the day-to-day operation of Windows. The only major difference really is the updated side of it. With CachyOS, there's a whole raft of daily updates with it being built based off of Arch Linux. But I've been on it now for what, I don't know, 6-7 weeks I guess, and it's been absolutely flawless. And don't forget, I've absolutely hammered it 24/7 over that time frame, and I haven't got a single complaint. Now, alright, I'm not using the standard CachyOS, I'm using a customised XFCE version which I did myself, but The core is CachyOS. All the gaming bits and pieces are CachyOS. All the software repos are CachyOS, and it's an absolute delight. It makes me want to get on a internet soapbox and do a international live stream for Windows 10 users and let them know just what the hell they're missing. I mean, unless you're running Fortnite or Valorant or something with an anti-cheat software, wow, you're in a terrifically exciting spot. If you run those games and you're running them on Windows, well, you've got no option but to stay on Windows, and I guess it sucks to be you. Because those people who have either upgraded to Windows 11 or gone out and bought a new PC with Windows 11 on it, well, best of luck, because all your hardware resources are pretty much tied up running Windows 11 plus all the Windows spyware that it comes loaded with. Not to mention the overhead that, you know, something like Copilot's going to put on there. Your key logged, so every time you press the key on the keyboard it's recorded. You're screenshotted, you're telemetried, your data hived. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, back in the day people had paid money for a piece of software to remove all that crap. And here we go with Windows 11, that all comes as standard. So I'm guessing if there is any substance to Microsoft developing a Linux version of Windows, well, I'm guessing they've got to get all that shit working on the Linux, which is really, really bad news for current Linux desktop users, because you might suddenly find Copilot on your Linux Mint. Yeah, CachyOS is doing great. That's good to hear, Michael. Did I hear someone say XFCE? Yeah, I'm on the XFCE, Craig. We know your favourite is Fedora. Do you know what, Michael? Look, this is very much a personal opinion. I wouldn't wrap Fedora around the toilet roll in your restroom and let you use it to wipe your arse with. That's how much I detest Red Hat and Fedora. And talking of Red Hat, I see they've been compromised and hacked on the Red Hat Enterprise side. It seems like the whole world is attacking the internet at the minute. And what worries me is those YouTube videos that say that, you know, when big companies start getting DDoSed and hacked and services took down, well, that, my friends, is a prelude to war. That's a prerequisite, what some countries will deploy before they start a physical war. Let's hope all them YouTube scaremonger videos are wrong. Because I've got a lot of gaming, a lot of streaming, and a hell of a lot of CachyOS to do. And I've got some really, really exciting revelations that some of you will absolutely love. Some of you will go, nah, is that it? Some of you, wow. You know, this is Ebeez you're watching. You know, I never sit on my laurels. I'm always kind of moving forward, trying new things out. I think the biggest shock I've had with CachyOS, that even when I convince myself that something's just not going to work, it not only works, it works flawlessly. And at the end of this live stream I'll give one of the big reveals away, because it's absolutely blown me away. And when I use the term Windows-esque, I'm not using that lightly or tongue-in-cheek. I am absolutely dead serious. Using CachyOS XFCE for me is an almost indistinguishable experience to using Windows 10. However, I don't have all the shite and all the processes that Windows comes with dragging my already budget hardware down. CachyOS runs on my budget hardware like wet dog shit off a greased stick. Seriously, it's that good. And now I'm finally at the stage where literally everything, you know, moving away from Windows 10 onto a Linux is in the past always been a compromise. There's always something that didn't work, or something that you had to give up, or something that you just quite frankly had to do without, that just did not run on the Linux that you used to run on the Windows. And I think this is the first time ever I've had absolutely everything running flawless with no major terminal work or tinkering. Just follow the advice on the CachyOS website for your games and you are good to go. Don't forget, Steam is possibly the single most powerful tool in your arsenal. It's not by any means the only tool. Excuse me. You know, and I get that there's the Epic Launcher and Lutris and loads of other applications that you could use. But for me, Steam has just been my gateway to get all of my Windows programs running flawlessly with very, very little effort on the CachyOS Linux. And I'm going to blow some of you away at the end of this stream. And believe you me, I am going to blow you away. You'll be like, fuck, no way. No, I mean, honestly, you won't believe it. It's that good. And it blew me away. You know, and I know people go on about, you know, Bazite and Nabara and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you're hard pushed. The thing is, right, CachyOS is very, very much aimed at gamers, but it's also a great general purpose operating system. And I've just run out of superlatives to throw at CachyOS on a budget AM4 platform. It's honestly, it's just blown me away, and I've got no registry to worry about. As I say, I've got none of the spyware. I don't have to concern myself with Copilot. I don't have to concern myself with end of life. CachyOS is a rolling release distro, so you know, you install it once and use it forever. It really is a forever operating system, whereas a lot of the Ubuntu based systems, you have to upgrade them if you're on a long-term support every 5 years and kind of start from scratch. CachyOS, it just keeps rolling on. You install once, and as the New York Mafia would say, forget about it. Just forget about it. Just bear with me a second. Let me just chat the chat. Well, I do use Lutris to run Freelancer. If I could run it on Steam, I would. Well, why can't you run it on Steam? I'll dare bet you can run it flawlessly on Steam. Just saying, Michael. And I'll dare bet it'll run on Steam a hell of a lot better than what it'll run on Lutris. Don't get me wrong, Lutris is a good program, but it's not in the same ballpark as Steam. just saying, Steam is absolutely far and away by a country mile one of the most powerful tools in your kit bag to get absolutely everything that you want out of your computing experience. And you know, I mean, you're just in such a good place. You've absolutely got it made. Keep right. Really? Okay, Mom. I think we're going slow enough to be able to take this corner without decorating the concrete barrier with our beautiful International. Fast. Well, we are actually for me, because I'd normally sit about 45. But anyway, I mean, just look at this. Literally everything I could want, every mod, every config, SCS only map combos, custom mod trucks. Seriously, you've got it all. Reshade. What you're looking at here is full reshade. I mean, it's honestly, it's seriously mind-blowingly good, and the sheer hours of entertainment I've had out of this operating system already. I am so excited to see how it develops throughout 2026. Now, in 2026, real life circumstances may change, and it may switch for a while from live streams to videos, but nevertheless the content will keep being banged up, and hopefully the YouTube will continue to grow. I would prefer to call it a free tube rather than YouTube. But nevertheless, I mean, it's honestly, if this is not a showcase, just imagine if you had an RTX 5080 or 5090 Ti, the latest processor, 64 gigs of RAM. Oh my god, your enjoyment would be through the roof, literally. I mean, I'm on an entry-level RTX 3050 8 gig, and you can see the quality for yourself. Using a single PC, not only playing the game, but also using the same CPU and GPU to stream and make videos. I'm using GIMP to create all my thumbnails. I'm running Windows in virtual boxes. I'm using Caden Live to edit the videos. Wow. I mean, seriously, it just blows you away. I use LibreOffice for when I need to do office work or spreadsheets or Word type documents. The inbuilt PDF reader is fantastic. I mean, you just email, internet, online shopping, online banking. You've just got it all. Super secure, super fast, and without any of the Microsoft Windows shenanigans. Seriously, what is not to love? about CachyOS. The only downside you could throw at it is, well, it's based on Arch Linux, which is known for regularly breaking, and that is very true. But the majority of your software comes from the CachyOS repos, and believe you me, you'll get a shit ton of them every day, and they just work day after day after day. Fantastic. Now, as you know, I'm on CachyOS full time as a daily driver, so I don't have a backup plan anymore. My Windows 11 is gone, so if anything happens to my PC or my operating system, well, until I can get it fixed, I am right royally screwed, just saying. But then again, I do try and typify the home desktop user. I try not to be a Linux nerd, although I guess I am really, but seriously, there's never been a better time to dump Windows altogether and move over onto Linux. Of course, the downside of that is the more people that do it, the more popular it becomes, the more it'll become the target of, as I say, malware writers, hackers, thieves, scammers. You know, where there's a book to be made, there's always an idiot prepared to try and exploit that. Just have a look at our progress. Wow, we're already on our way to Rock Springs. We're just leaving Evanston. Wow. And this, honestly, I mean, look at this map, look at it, really. What more could you want? Value for money. Doesn't even cover it, does it? Doesn't even cover it. And I've got all the mod trucks I could want. I've got all the modded trailers I could want. They're all free. I mean, what more could you want? But I'll show you something at the end of the live stream if you watch it through till the end, and if this doesn't blow you away like it's blown me away, then I really don't know what will. If this doesn't convince you to dump your Windows 10 or 11 and get your arse over onto CachyOS Linux, you're a lost cause. You know, maybe you're one of them people that severely suffer from CBA, can't be arsed. Maybe you're never going to upgrade to Windows 11 because you can't be arsed. Maybe you're just going to carry on using Windows 10 until it gets hacked to fuck because you can't be arsed. If you are a Windows 10 user, ask yourself one question. When was the last time you actually updated it? I'm just saying. And I'm guessing if you're an ordinary Windows 10 home user, the answer to that question is never. Another question for your ordinary Windows 10 user. When was the last time you not only backed up your system, but also did a full restore to prove that your backups are reliable and trustworthy? I'm guessing it's going to be the same answer, never. Let me just check the chat. Michael, I'll see if I can figure it out. I got the Freelancer ISO, so not sure if I can get Steam to install it like Lutris can. Yeah, absolutely you can. If you've got the ISO, you're in a great spot. Craig Lilly, what the heck is YouTube doing? I now have an @ sign in front of my changed name, and my Now, truck farmer. Now the @ sign gone, but still can't the @ key. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if YouTube's about finished, actually. And I'm surprised YouTube's not been heavily targeted either by the Chinese or the Russians to bring it down, because it's such a popular platform. I'm guessing nobody really cares about Twitch or Rumble, or, you know, YouTube is the big one, isn't it? And I know YouTube was affected with the Amazon Web Services fiasco, because part of YouTube is actually hosted by Amazon, which is a bit bizarre, isn't it? A Google company being hosted by Amazon. I mean, that's just how big and massive Amazon are. They're huge. I could have these figures wrong, so don't quote me, but in terms of overall serving of internet services, Amazon Web Services are responsible for 40% of serving the internet to home users. Google are responsible for 30%, and Microsoft is responsible for 20%. So 90% of the internet is served to the world by 3 companies. Wow, how dangerous is that? Just saying. So if China could take down Amazon Web Services, Google Web Services, and Microsoft Azure and their web services, pretty much nothing would work. And that includes everything from your governments to your banks, let alone gaming websites. PlayStation, Xbox, that would all be down. Oh, it's frightening, really. It's scary as hell when you look into it. So 90% of web services are served to the whole world by 3 companies. Wow. Wow. Let's hope nobody from China or Russia watches this live stream, just saying. Might give them ideas. You know, you could go one further and say, if you wanted to absolutely bring a country to its knees, well, just launch a missile strike against its electricity grid. Because let's be honest, without electricity nothing functions, nothing works. And if you had no internet, no mobile phone service, I'm guessing a normal society would probably collapse within, what, 2 to 4 weeks tops. Literally, people would not be able to function. You know, their daily lives would be absolutely wrecked. Just bear with me a second, all. I'll be right back on the mic if I don't crash.
Keep right, then turn right. Turn right.
And we're back. And let me just check the chat a second. But Azure is Linux based, doesn't matter, it's served and hosted by Microsoft, the Azure platform, Craig. Granted, it's made by Microsoft, so there's a chance it would be knocked out. Yeah, as I say, if you could take down as a malicious country, if you wanted to literally bring the world to its knees, well, take down Amazon, take down Google, and take down Microsoft. Pretty much nothing on the internet would work. Literally, because I mean, the stuff that Amazon host is scary. You know, and I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Ukraine wouldn't be able to do all their attacks via the internet, satellite, via drone. You know, I mean, I know they use Starlink and all the rest of it, but I mean, it's still the internet, isn't it? It's still got to talk to DNS servers and be routed, and if those services are down, hosted by one of said 3 companies, you're screwed. You're absolutely done. It wouldn't matter whether it's domestic, whether it's military, whether it's scientific. I mean, hospitals would shut down and couldn't function. You'd literally bring a country to its knees. I'm guessing 2 to 4 weeks, nothing would work. You wouldn't be able to pay for anything, you wouldn't be able to buy anything. Nobody would be able to get in touch with you. Oh my God, society would just collapse, especially the younger elements of society who, you know, I mean, I know everybody laughs and jokes, but nevertheless, they cannot exist, they cannot function without their mobile phones and their smartphones. So, you know, if you really want to hit and hurt a country, don't worry about bombs and bullets and nukes. Just get yourself a couple of hackers' terminals, a couple of PCs with CachyOS, connect them to the internet, and do your worst. And I'm guessing that, you know, you could pretty much bring the world to its knees. There's not, maybe with the exception of North Korea, maybe with the exception of China, I can't think of too many countries where taking down them 3 companies would absolutely wreck modern society as you know it. Because everybody from your local authorities to your banks, your online shopping, your groceries, everything's done online these days. Oh, imagine if all that infrastructure was actively targeted and taken down. And not by a bunch of amateurs, but by a, you know, a collective of skilled hackers who can find and utilise exploits. And I mean, you'd have no lights, you'd have no heating, you'd have no running water. It's all computer controlled. Oh God, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? And because we've never suffered anything like that, we all, myself included, we all take it utterly for granted that it's always going to be there. It's like electricity. You speak to the younger generations today and they think and they feel that it's their divine right, it's a basic necessity, a basic right of life to have access to electricity. But as I say, when I was a kid back in the day, I can remember the times when we had power cuts and blackouts. Now, it wasn't that much of a big deal because it meant the lights went off. Well, big deal. You know, we did have, you know, transistor radios with batteries in. We didn't have things like smartphones and computers and online this and online that. So it wasn't that big of a deal if the lights went out. You know, you lit some candles. Wow, can you imagine the younger generations now? No access to the smartphones for 2, 4, 6, 12 weeks. They wouldn't be able to function, would they? And it really is a scary, scary thought. Hey Johnny, lovely to see you. Hope you're safe and well. And then when you multiply that globally, you wouldn't be able to catch a flight. Because none of your flight systems would work, none of your ticketing systems would work. You wouldn't be able to catch a train. None of the ticket systems would work. You wouldn't be able to grab an Uber. None of the traffic lights would work. Fucking hell. I mean, the whole of your country's infrastructure could be took down in one of two ways. Either take the internet down, or, even more effective, missile attack that country's electricity grid and knock it out. I mean, how long would it take to restore an electricity grid from obliteration? I mean, Putin can launch regular normal ICBMs from Russia and they arrive here in the UK in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And that's not even your hypersonics, that's just regular ICBMs. And he can fire them from aircraft 100 miles away, well outside of our international airspace. And I just don't think any of us give this the thought and the attention that it deserves. I mean, do you have a contingency plan, a backup plan? What happens if your electricity goes down tomorrow morning for 12 weeks? You know, do you have tin food in? All your fridges and your freezers would stop working, so your perishable food would all go off and be rotten. Do you have a stock of candles in your property? Do you know, how would you keep warm? How would you make hot drinks? There's no electric, so you can't boil a kettle. It would be like putting that country back to the Dark Ages, wouldn't it? You know, you couldn't go to the toilet to take a dump because your toilet wouldn't flush. Oh my God, I just don't. I don't think that people in the modern world pay any attention to this, and I get it, but it really is as scary as all hell. It really, really is. How's Truck Farmer? I'm sure Michael's not very happy about the Truck Farmer. Unless he's changed it deliberately to Truck Farmer. What on earth made you change it, Michael, to Truck Farmer? I really quite like Michael and Craig Lilly. It's kind of instantly recognisable, and it's also pretty comforting to have some familiarity. And you've gone and changed your bloody YouTube name to Truck Farmer of all things, which actually isn't a bad name, Truck Farmer, but really? When was the last time you played Farm Simulator? Oh, I can't remember. Just saying, Michael, you're more of a trucker. I know you do like your Farm Simulator, but I'm dare betting if you had to choose, you'd choose the trucking every day of the week. Bumps-a-daisy. Wow, what an amazing journey this has been. Absolutely, I tell you what, honestly, PC gaming wise, I am in such a great place. Real life, not so much so, but PC gaming life, yeah, absolutely top of the tree, top dollar.
You have arrived.
And we've got a fat 32 gigabytes of RAM in this machine. So if I replace the CPU and upgraded the graphics, I'm guessing we'll get another, what the hell? Okay, well I'm not going to try and back that in there, just saying. I'm guessing we get another 5 to 10 years out of this rig. And that is the beauty of a PC, because it's modular. The drawback really has always been Windows, I'm guessing. But now we're freed from that by using Linux, so we no longer have that restriction. The sky's the limit, isn't it? You know, the world's your oyster. Right, okay, so let's just have a quick look at that. So we're up here in Rock Springs. Wow, I can't wait to tackle this whole profile and whole map throughout 2026 with all my beautiful mod trucks. Right, time to blow you all away. Truck farmer, I don't know. Might have been suggested we'll fix it soon. Well, listen, truck farmer. Let me just let the stream catch up, because this is going to blow you the hell away. Now, yeah, that's not my new handle. It's been like that forever, since I created Broken Ebeez. When I had my stroke back in 2023, was it I created this YouTube? I think it was 2023. So first of all, the first thing I want to blow you away with is when I ran Guild Wars 2 on Microsoft Windows, I used to have a program called Blishhood, and Blishhood had an awful lot of plugins that allowed you to navigate your way through the game with consummate ease. Now, I had to get off my backside and go rooting around the internet. Nobody told me about this, but I discovered this little program here called Burrito. Yep, that good old Mexican food. And it's basically a Linux version of Blishhood, and it puts a little icon up there, and you can import taco and burrito marker packs and guides and all the rest of it. And okay, so let's just load up very quickly. This is not what I wanted to show you to blow you away. This is a little bonus. But this demonstrates just how I've literally got everything I could ever want on the CachyOS. So just bear with me here, because this is massive. This is huge. So here's my beautiful Guild Wars 2. Okay. So one of the things I miss the most about Blishhood is the fact that I used to be able to navigate the worlds and do what we call map completion with consummate ease. Just bear with me a second. Hang on, I'll be right back. So when I tried Burrito, it has the same set of markers. So you see this line here. So this is the fastest route with which to discover everything within any given map. Okay, now to give you an idea, Guild Wars 2 is huge, absolutely ginormous. But all you've got to do is select a map and away you go. you're in a really good spot. So, excuse me, as you can see, I've mapped all the starter areas. Let's go to Metrica Province and let's go to the next level of areas. Burrito will automatically overlay absolutely everything that you could want, and you can filter it not only by what you want but also by what you don't want. So it's telling me here, this is Burrito, it's a portal to the Brisbane wildlands. So let's get here and let's say for argument's sake that I want to run around the map, because this is my preferred way to level a new character up. Rather than do all the hearts, just do everything on the map. Now all of a sudden map completion appears, and now all I've got to do is run the hell all over this map following this line, and I will complete every element and unlock every element on this map. And seriously, that is absolutely massive. So that used to be a very good reason why a lot of Guild Wars 2 players couldn't come over to Linux, because this sort of thing didn't exist. But now it exists and runs flawlessly. I've been using it all week and it's been flawless. So that got me to thinking, well, if I can get Guild Wars 2 running with Burrito, and this is to answer your question, Michael. Updell, if you're still in the stream regarding Freelancer, I thought, what about Truckers MP? I just wonder. So I downloaded the Truckers MP exe, installed it to my computer via Steam, gave it Proton, and this is the result. It's absolutely mind-numbing. It just works flawlessly right out of the box without me doing anything different to what I'd have to do on Windows. So now not only have I got all of the elements I could ever want in both American Truck and Euro Truck, I've also got my Truckers MP. So let's let it load up. There you go, it's loaded up. And let's select Euro Truck Simulator 2. It works for either. You can click on this here and select American Truck. I'm going to select Euro Truck and let's left click play. So this is what I mean when I make comments like it's 100% Windows-esque in its operation, in that you double left click an icon, something happens and you're in. You know, you're not having to spend hours configuring wine bottles or other cool stuff, you know, and doing stuff that is beyond the scope of an ordinary desktop user who literally just wants to install something and it works. And this is why I say to you, Michael, your freelancers should run flawlessly under Steam, because if I can get things like Aslan's mod pack for World of Warships, full Truckers MP, and any other Windows add-on or program, so 3,419. Let's join the server. Click continue. That's not the... Damn, let me just change that. It's not Ebeez SCS, it's Truckers MP. There we go. Let's click continue. And this is pretty much indistinguishable from Windows. I mean, how cool is that, Michael? How cool is that? Hiya, Beck, how you doing? Lovely to see you. I mean, that for me is mind-blowing. It's the absolute icing on the cake, and I've got a job on, So let's connect to the actual server. There you go. And there you go. We are in Truckers MP
Drive safe.
in our iVecOS way, and we've got a job on. Ghost mode. Everything is just Windows-esque. It works. It's indistinguishable. You know, if you didn't know I was on Linux, then you really would not believe that this wasn't Windows. Why would you? And we're on the Truckers MP. I've not had to do any configuration work. I've not had to run scripts. I've not had to do anything other than just bring Truckers MP down, install it and set it up using Steam and using Proton 10 Beta. Oh my god, it runs flawlessly. I mean, how? I mean, if that don't blow you away, if that doesn't make you want to, as a Windows 10 user, dump Windows and get your bottom onto Linux, I don't know what will.
Turn left.
Seriously. Because honestly, gaming life doesn't look any better than this right now. And you're not going to be forced to upgrade. You've not got all the spyware and shenanigans Microsoft are forcing on you. You own the operating system. It's 100% yours. You can customise 10 bells out of it, or you can leave it exactly as it came right out of the box. I mean, seriously, what more can you ask for? Seriously.
Exit now.
I mean, if you had this option that was going to cost you money, I'm guessing most people would be fine with paying money for this. This is free. It's 100% free. It will cost you zilch, nada. Not a cent, not a penny, not a euro. It's free. And with Microsoft shooting themselves in the foot by ending support for Windows 10, and an awful lot of people not wanting to go to Windows 11 through choice, well, they are pushing people left, right and centre straight into the arms of desktop Linux, which has come so far in even the last 2 years. As I say, you know, desktop Linux for your home PC user is now such a Windows-esque experience. You'd have to be, as Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin would say, you'd have to be out of your fucking mind to stay on Windows. You really would. And my next live stream is going to be, can we find any other real players on the American Truckers MP server? Be a great video, wouldn't it? But as you can see, we're on Truckers MP. I would have to stop it, and it's telling you the other players that are around my sort of area, and we've got nearly 5,000 players on the server, and there's not even a whisper of Windows, not a hint, not a thrill. This is 100% prime time Linux. Fantastic. The game looks fantastic, it runs fantastic, and this is all on budget entry level hardware. So, you know, if you've got a $700, $900, $1,500, $5,000 PC, oh my god, are you in a great place. So that's really what I wanted to show you. Literally everything I could ever want from a Windows gaming PC I have now got from Linux in a very Windows-esque fashion. So once you've learnt the process of downloading an exe and running it via Steam, once you've learned and got that process nailed, pretty much any piece of Windows software is going to run under the latest Proton. And also don't forget that if it doesn't run under the latest Proton, you have some pretty cool third-party Proton support tools like the glorious egg rolls Protons. There's a whole raft of other third parties who make Proton bottles that you can download and import into Steam and use them. Some of them are designed for specific games or specific purposes. And again, you don't need to run the terminal, you don't need to run scripts, you don't need to do difficult and time consuming configuration file work. Okay, let me just pull this little load over, because the thing is with Truckers MP, you've got to be stationary before you can do anything. Okay, so there she is on Truckers MP. Fabulous. Absolutely fantastic. For 2 pins, you know what? I'd actually take a picture of that. I think that looks amazing. I don't know why my dog is Muffin, but Muffin it is. Oh, it's because of the fireworks, Hope. It's alright, Hope. It's only fireworks. We have a thing here in the UK called Diwali. Shame we don't have it for... Anyway, let's not go there. Don't get me started on that. So let me quit out of that. And the process for installing stuff via Steam is pretty straightforward. So let me bring down the latest version of Aslane's WoW mod pack, because if you don't put WoW in there, it'll bring the World of Tanks up, and I want the World of... I've installed World of Tanks, funnily enough. So let's just bring that latest version down. Okay, so that's not down yet, it's nearly down. Yep, there you go, it's down. Okay, let me just close that down and square that away. And let me go to my downloads folder, which I do apologise, is probably getting a bit messy now. Let me just take those and cut them and go to EB and go to text and paste them in. Yeah, it's very windy here, so I do apologise about the tunes. Burrito, Mercedes-Benz Actros, that can go into the bin. That can go into the bin. I do like to keep it tidy. Okay, so we've got... That's the old one. So we can move that into the bin. And that's the new one. Okay, so let's go into Steam and I'll show you how time consuming and difficult the process is. So that's the Aslan's WoW's mod pack old one. Let's remove that completely. Let's do it from scratch. So go up to games, go up to add an on Steam game to my library, left click browse, go to where you've downloaded the installer, left click on it, left click on select, and then left click add selected programs, and there it is. If we now right click it and left click properties and go to compatibility, force the use of a specific. So you can select any one of these that you like. I'm going to select Proton 10 Beta, click OK, click play. And to install any non-Steam application is that simple on virtually all Linux. But the difference I found with CachyOS is it just bloody works. It just does what it says on the tin. Whereas this always used to be the domain of Windows. Not anymore. So that's obviously not the correct location. So I need to change that location. Now, where is my location? That's the thing. Did I leave it on big? Or did I move it to big ass? Steam library, Steam apps, common. Oh, both World of Tanks and World of Warships are on HDD spin. That's okay. Left click OK. So now we've got the correct installation directory. And we can either do Aslan's recommended setup, or we can do that one for Chinese players only. We can do a custom installation. Let's do a full reset. So we've got nothing installed at all. Let's go ahead. Let's delete the download cache, of which we've got 21 meg in there. Yes, please. Left click yes and left click install. It's exactly the same as it is on Windows, you know. And that's it, you're done. And then load up your World of Warships and you're good to go. And it's the same for World of Tanks or for anything. But I think it's really messed up. I guess it takes time to take effect. I changed mine. Yeah, I think it's YouTube. I think Craig's right, Michael. I think YouTube is absolutely messed up at the minute. Night. And here's our beautiful World of Warships loading up exactly as it would on Microsoft Windows, very Windows-esque. So I've double left clicked an icon and now something's going to happen. And there's your beautiful game running. So there really is no longer any reason to stay on Microsoft Windows. It's just not necessary at all. And I think the massive stark difference today is that back in the day when I was on Peppermint, other people would say to me, you know, look, I'd love to make the jump, but what about X, Y, Z? And I'd be like, well, you can get this to work. It might work on yours, blah, blah, blah. Whereas today, stuff just works. And as I say, Steam is your single most powerful tool to make that happen. It really, really is. Just fantastic. It just works. You don't have to know anything about wine bottles, scripting, the terminal. You just don't need anything. You just don't need to know any of that. And, you know, back in the day, a lot of people used to like to look like a hacker, and they'd open the terminal up and run B-top or H-top and, you know, no, I'm hacking, no. I mean, today it's just so far, desktop Linux for the home user is so far removed from all of this. It's mind-numbingly good. But please don't take my word for it. Go and try it out for yourself. And as I say, if you're not blown away, then you're not blow-awayable. So, you know, that's a couple of things that I have demonstrated on CachyOS Linux, which is just game changing. If you're like me, you play Guild Wars, you play Trucking, you play World of Warships, you play World of Tanks, SWOTA, Farm Simulator, you know, Valheim, all your older games. I mean, there's thousands of games that are fully compatible with your CachyOS. Yes, there is still some that are not, but that's not the fault of Linux. That's because they use kernel level anti-cheat systems. And let's be honest, any company that allows a third party company to inject administrative executable code into their kernel is questionable from the get-go. Just saying. So I'm guessing that all these companies must have paid Microsoft a fortune to have kernel level access for their anti-cheat software. But anyway, I digress. Right, well, I've taken up enough of your time. Michael, do try your freelancer and let me know how you get on with it. But as I say, I mean, I'm running the Burrito, Aslan's mod pack, the external version of Guild Wars 2, the external version of Guild Wars, Reshade, and Truckers MP, and that's at the minute. I'm guessing that list will only grow and get bigger. Hey up, Robbie, lovely to see you. Hope you're safe and well. So yeah, apart from YouTube being wrecked, it's in a very good place now. I am here and available to help anybody that needs help, that wants questions answered, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If you guys and girls don't utilise me as a resource, well, that's your fault. Simple as that. Message me on Steam, message me on YouTube, however you want to do it. And I'm more than happy to help anybody with any issue, especially if they're a Windows 10 user come over to Linux. Chances are they're going to be running either Linux Mint or Ubuntu or Zorin or something like that. And I get it, that's absolutely fine. But CachyOS for me personally, wow, it's the find of the century. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry the trucking was a bit short. I'll try and make it a little bit longer in the next live stream. Have a wonderful evening. Lovely to see Truck Farmer here. Problem is, Michael, Truck Farmer's going to stick, just saying. Have a wonderful evening. Much love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Cheers, everybody.